Guys, welcome to another episode of Rad Dad Toolbox. Shaka bra. Hey, today we're going to be doing something really useful. We're going to be changing the oil on a Honda CRV. This is a modern one, 2013, but it'll pretty much apply. You could probably go all the way back to about 2002, and it's going to be very similar, possibly some changes to the oil filters. But anyway, we are going to change the oil and save big bucks like we always do. We're going to change it with synthetic oil. We're going to put a brand new filter on it, and we're going to save a ton of money. And saving money is kind of cool because it means you can go on vacations, you can go save money. Save money, what's that mean? Put it in the bank. Wow. Buy cash or pay cash for cars, all kinds of fun things that you can do with your money. So thanks for joining us. If you haven't checked out my other videos, please do so. Lots of helpful hints there on everyday stuff, from fixing iPhones, there's a little B there, fixing iPhones to shaving, to changing oil, to running power tools, all kinds of really cool things. So check us out. And if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can see all my new videos coming out. And if you haven't already, please smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So thanks for joining us. Let's go get to it. Okay, I always like to get all my supplies set aside, so that is exactly what I've done. First, I always get a little piece of cardboard. This is kind of a pizza box that I have sitting in my garage, so I use that for the oil splatters. We are going to be using SuperTech, which is Walmart's brand, contracted brand with a major oil producer, full synthetic, zero weight 20 oil, and we're going to be using a Fram pH 7317 filter. Now I bought both of these for $18.97. That's right, folks. $18.97 synthetic oil change today. In addition, I've got a 16 millimeter wrench for opening up the drain plug, and I always have paper towels because there's always a little bit of a mess when you change your own oil, but saving money is a lot more fun anyway. So anyway, and then I'm using some nitrile gloves. These are handy dandy, keep your hands clean, and who doesn't want clean hands? I mean, I do. All right, we're going to be using the best little ramps ever. These are Rhino ramps. They're really sturdy, heavy duty. I put everything from my big Power Stroke on there to little cars like this Honda CRV on there, and it supports them great. Gets them up just high enough that we can get right underneath the car. Oh, and by the way, these are only about 34 bucks at Walmart. Pretty cool. And last but not least is this wonderful Pittsburgh Creeper. Crawler, creeper, whatever you want to call it. This is handy dandy. I bought it from Harbor Freight. I want to say it's roughly 20 bucks. I could be wrong. It's got a nice padded headrest. You've got a place to put your wrenches and drain plugs or anything you want, gloves, whatever. And then of course, it's got a nice grab handle so you can grab it and also hang it up on the wall. So that's our vehicle to get underneath the vehicle. Let's do it. And I almost forgot, this is my handy little dandy Honeywell fluorescent portable rechargeable light. It also has speakers, so I can be rocking out to Boston or some good oil change music. So let's see how that works. Voila! And there is light, and it is good. Okay, guys. We are up on the Rhino ramps, and gives us a nice height. I don't know if you can see that, but because this is a little bit lower car, we're going to be coming in from the front there with our crawler. So there you have it. And by the way, I want to emphasize safety. Never get underneath the car unless you are absolutely sure that your ramps are solid, that you have set your parking brake, which I have because I'm a good boy. Anyway, just be safe before you get underneath that car. Okay, we're gonna open up that oil filter, or filler, I shouldn't say filter, oil filler cap, and that's so it can breathe and drain every bit of oil. And by the way, this car's been run for the last half hour or so, so it's nice and warm, so the oil will flow right out. Let's get underneath and pop the drain plug. Now it's like 100 degrees today, so you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna change into, obviously, this polo shirt is not a good idea to change oil. Don't do it, you'll get in trouble with your wife. So let me show you what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm in my oil change jacket. Yep, that's right. It's an old beat up jacket that I can spill oil on instead of my polo shirt, which makes my wife really happy. So let's get to it. All right, today we're going to be using this handy dandy hyper tough 23 quart oil reservoir. Love these things. They stack, so I have 3 or 4 at any given time, and they hold multiple oil changes. So we're going to use this to catch all the oil. All right, we're going to slide this into position here. And we're ready to go. Okay. We need to remove the screws. This is the pan that we need to remove to get to the drain plug. So we are going to just take these little screws out. This one's missing one, so we're going to take out these 2 right, if I can do it. Let's see. Okay, I just removed one. These had been stripped. Somebody had stripped these on a previous oil change. So let's see if we can get this. I had to put an extra big. There we go. Boom. So we take that off, and then this should just pop out like so, which gives us great access to the oil filter right there, and the drain plug, I don't know if you can see it, and the drain plug's right there. So they're both really close, which makes changing oil on a CRV really easy. So let's go ahead and pop that loose and knock the camera around. I've already got this loose, so I'm just gonna, all right, I've already got this loose, so let's get this in position. I don't know if we can see here. And I'm just gonna let that flow. And here we go. And there it goes. Voila. Let it rain oil. This little 23 quart hyper tough drain pan sure works good. We'll let that drain for a few minutes. Okay, I'm trying to hold this and tighten it at the same time, so let's just go ahead and snug that up. And you just want to snug it. You don't want to do what I like to say, kung fu it. All right, let's go ahead and take that oil filter out. It's gonna make just a little bit of a mess. Unscrew it there, here it comes. It's making a bigger mess than I was planning on. And we'll let that drain for just a minute too. Good thing I have these gloves on. All right, let's go ahead and open up this oil filter. I like these because they have the grips on them so you can really snug them down. There is a outside gasket here. It's really important that you lube that with a little bit of oil so that it seals really nice. Also, we're gonna wanna fill this filter as good as we can to the top so that it primes the motor and it's not running dry on any oil. So it's very important to put a little oil in there and also a little oil around that gasket. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, let's go ahead and fill that filter. I'll try to do this without spilling too bad. Okay, once that's full, and I had a little challenge there with that big bottle. You want to use a smaller bottle if you can. You just take some of that fresh oil and you just go around that gasket so it seals nice and tight and there's no leaks. We've already filled it. Let's go ahead and put it back in. All right, we'll go ahead and put the oil filter back in. Just make sure those threads are squaring up there. There we go. Okay, I'm changing camera angle so you can see a little better. So you just tighten that up and you just want to snug it. You don't need to kung fu it, but you want it to sit good down on that gasket. Okay, it's just starting to snug. If you can see the black in there, it gives you a nice grip. That's what I like about these frames. one more snug. And there we go. Drain plug's back in and snugged. Oil filter's in. We filled it, we lubed the gasket, and we tightened it up. So now let's go ahead and put the guard back on and go topside and put the fresh oil in. Okay, we're just getting ready to put the oil back in. Filter's tightened up, drain plug's in. Now we're ready to fill from the top side. We're gonna be using this Hyper Top car truck SUV quick fill funnel. I also bought it at Walmart. Great funnel. So let's go ahead and put the fluid in. And on this CRV, it only holds 4.2 quarts, including the filter. So we're not gonna wanna put all 5 quarts in. Never wanna overfill your car. So let's go ahead without making too big of a mess. So here we go. Go all but 1 quart, basically, because we already put 2.2 quarts easily into that filter, even though it's small. I'll stop and look at the, check it, and top it off here in just a second. Okay, let's go ahead and check the oil. Hard to see on there, it's so clean, but let's go ahead and see what it looks like here. Okay, it's between high and low. You'll see here it's got a high mark, if you can see this. It's got a high mark and a low mark, and it's coming up right in between there. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more oil and go up to the top line. You don't ever want to overfill it, as it will stress out your seals and eventually cause a leak. So we want to end up right there, and it looks like it's about a half quart low. Okay, well, add just a little bit more to top it off. And that should be about perfect. I'll check it one more time here. Don't know if you can see that, but it is right up just below that top line, so we are good to go. Let's button this thing back up and start it up and check for leaks. Okay, let's put the oil fill cap back on and snug that down nice and snug. Let's go ahead and fire this up and see how it runs. Fire in the hole. All right, and last but not least, we want to add 5,000 miles because this is a synthetic oil change. And I always like to put the weight of the oil here too. Synthetic. Boom, and we're ready to go. Boom. All right, guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of Rad Dad Toolbox. And today it was fun getting that oil change done on that CRV that really needed it. We changed it again with 0 weight 20 full synthetic oil. We got a brand new Fram filter, and we did it all for $18.79. That's what I'm talking about. So thanks again for joining us. If you haven't checked out my other videos, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't hit the like yet, please pound the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And until next time, thanks again.